Welcome to our high school planning meeting entitled Starting Strong. The main audience for this video are for students that are in 8th grade getting ready for our high school program, or other students new to our program that want to learn more about our high school programming. I'm going to start off with a question that we receive a lot. Will you need a high school diploma? The answer is actually sometimes, and there are some instances that they might want to show evidence of your completion. For instance, a work application, the military, and some colleges. There are definitely different options for diplomas, one of those being our MPHSAP diploma, and a majority of this presentation will talk about how to get to that point. Another option is a home diploma, which your supervising teacher can support you in creating or working towards. And another option is the HiSET or the HSE, which is the high school equivalency credential. Formerly in Iowa, we used the GED, but they have transferred to this HSE instead. So I'm going to dive into our diploma program and talk a little bit about our requirements, transfer credits, evidence of completion, grades, special education provisions, our honors program, and graduation. So I'll start and talk a little bit about our MPHSAP diploma. Any student that is with us, except those who are enrolled through a district sharing agreement with another district, have the option to work towards our diploma. Definitely not a requirement, but it does allow students to finish with a diploma from Mid-Prairie Community School District. It also helps to formulate a standardized transcript, which makes it easy for if you decide to go straight into the workforce or onto college to recognize the work that's been completed. The diploma program is optional for all students. Whether or not you choose to take part in that program is totally up to your family, and any student, whether diploma or home diploma option, are welcome to take part in all of our programming. So there are some basic requirements for our Mid-Prairie Homeschool Assistance Program diploma. A student needs at least 28 units, and these units must comprise of 4 units of English, 3 units of math, 3 units of science, 3 units of social studies, including 1 U.S. history and half a credit of government, and 2.5 units of PE and health. So that needs to include at least a half a credit of health and at least 2 credits of PE. We typically recommend doing about a half credit of PE per year, and then that half credit of health can be done anytime within your high school years. And the last required mandatory course is that half unit of financial literacy, which can be personal finance or something of the sort. The last thing is fun for our students because they are able to take at least 12 hours in elective areas that are of interest to them. It might be foreign language, could be a home economics type class, music, art, different things like that. So it's the responsibility of the family to keep track of these credits. Your supervising teacher will also help you in formulation of that standardized transcript that I mentioned before. We do accept transfer credits if you're coming from a different school setting. Upon receipt of that, we will give you credit for those courses. If you are wanting to receive our diploma, just know that you need to be with us for at least 2 years, including that final year of high school. There are different ways to show evidence of completion for our students. So it's up to the parent, guardian, and the supervising teacher to determine that requirement for that credit requirement has been met. So there are different increments for credit: a half credit, a quarter credit, and a full unit credit. So there are different ways to get here. One way to get to a full unit of credit is to complete at least 3/4 of a high school level textbook or course curriculum. We do encourage you to get as much as you can done and not just quit at that 3/4, but typically in a school year, that's about how much time you have to get things done. Another way to get credit is to complete one of our MPHSAP high school classes, to complete a college course at an accredited school, to complete a minimum of 120 hours, and we really encourage you to get closer to 150 hours for a credit, and we want it to be rigorous and in relation to the course content. Okay, this particular 120 hours is only available for elective classes, not core classes, because that wouldn't be enough time to really get to dive deep into the content. Another way you can get a credit is to pass an AP test or a CLEP exam. Complete an independent study course with a 15-page paper or longer. And then if you have something else that you've created, maybe a course you've created at home with agreement of our director, you're able to use that as an evidence of completion. I'm just going to dive really quickly through grades. For the transcript from our diploma program, you will need a grade for every course. Pass-fail grades are an option for elective classes. For college courses, the grade will be given by the instructor at the college level will be the one we put on the transcript. That is not able to be changed by the family. For courses taken here at the MPHSAP, the grade assigned by the course facilitator will be the one that's recorded on the transcript unless it has been determined that you would like to grade that course yourself as a home graded option, which is an option as well, but that needs to be something that's agreed upon ahead of time. Okay, so in our handbook that you will be getting through a PDF, you will notice our grading scale. Please note that earned percentages should be rounded to the nearest whole number to determine our letter grade. And if we can stay on this standardized scale, it will help to keep that transcript standardized and uniform. Note that we don't really offer A+, as we try to mirror a little bit of what the high school is doing, and our grade system is not weighted, so the top grade you can receive is an A. As for special education provisions, it's our intention to award diplomas to home educated students with disabilities who are achieving up to their potential. So these requirements for that diploma are going to be agreed upon between the parent, supervising teacher, director, special education team if applicable, and the superintendent. Something I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes is a little more about our honors program, but I want you to be aware that this is something that is part of our program. If a student wants to go above and beyond those 28 credits, and whether they decide to pursue an honors in academics, a subject-specific area, or service, it helps them go above and beyond what they would be doing for our diploma to also graduate with honors. So I will talk a little bit more about this later. I'm just going to touch upon it for about 20 seconds now. Academics, there are different points. You need some more credits, and then some other things. You earn a certain number of points. You need at least 34 units of credit. You need a cumulative 3.8 GPA, and you have to earn at least 3 points within these. It could be taking 3 college classes. It could be getting at least a 95% on your IO assessment or your ISASP. It might be getting a 30 on your ACT score. These are different things you can earn points. An honors in service is volunteer experience, and subject area specific honors is something where a student is really passionate about a specific subject and they want to dive deep into that. So any student that completes these requirements for graduation will be recommended by our school board and will receive a diploma documenting his or her achievement. We offer a graduation ceremony every year, and it's super special to see families recognizing their students' hard work. We have created a high school roadmap that you can take a look at your leisure. It talks a little bit about things to expect. I'm just going to real quick highlight a few of our 8th grade things. Right now you're attending this high school planning meeting. It's a great time to start thinking about the courses you're going to want to take in high school. Those courses will come out in our newsletter soon. You also can take a look at that honors program information that is within this PowerPoint, and also you'll receive in your PDF file that I have attached to the information you've received, and you can decide if maybe that might be something right for you and your student. You can also start talking to your supervising teacher about laying out that 4-year plan, and start thinking about that transcript. And if you took any classes in 8th grade this year, go ahead and start adding those to your transcript. So there is some record keeping that goes involved with high school, and I'll just touch on a few things. One is that 4-year plan I talked about. This is a great record keeping sheet to start jotting down. It might change throughout your high school experience, but where you can really plan out what your year might look like. So if you think you need 28 credits, you can try to evenly divide them between the 4 years and make that work for you and your student. This is one version of our transcript. This is our Mid-Prairie Homeschool Assistance Program transcript. We have two versions. We have this 2-semester version, and we also have a version that has the 4 quarters or the 4 terms. This is similar to what a completed transcript might look like. I apologize. Where we will keep track of all the students' courses, grades, credits, and then as well as start keeping track of some of their activities or special recognition outside of school that we can put on that transcript to show and to highlight some of their experiences throughout high school. Other forms that that will help you document completion are this 4-year plan, which I mentioned before. There's a class completion checkoff we have provided for you. Each block represents 1 hour. For every hour, just make an X in there. You could write the date that you worked on this. You could also write, different concepts you've learned about so you have an easy reference. Another thing that we have is this elective completion checkoff. It helps you really make your electives a little more rigorous because we want you to think about, for instance, if you're doing a fine arts credit, you might have multiple different components. Maybe you're going to have 6 different components, and you're going to keep track of how many hours that you've spent here. Maybe you're going to jot down some of the concepts or the different, perhaps you attended concerts, you're going to write down the names of the concerts and the different topics you studied. Another form that you might find useful is this checklist, which helps you check off your different credits as it's divided between freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year. And then we also have another form that breaks it down into half units that you can also use as record keeping. All of these are to use at your disposal if you're interested, and your supervising teacher is happy to help you with these. Course descriptions, if you've had older students in the past, we used to keep those on file here, but we have found that it's actually more beneficial for our families to own those. You're going to keep track of the courses that you completed at home, both textbook courses and non-textbook, your family created courses. We can help you with any courses that you take here or at Kirkwood. We have all those course descriptions ready, but we're asking that all course descriptions will be kept by the family. The reason we're doing this is most colleges, if that's your next step, do not actually ask for course descriptions, but we find it beneficial for families to keep record of these because if a college might ever ask, for instance, you completed a science lab at home, they might want to know some of the topics that you discovered or you worked through as a family to see if that's kind of comparable to what you would have received in a more standardized class so that they can know that you're ready for that college level course. It's also a great way to celebrate all the accomplishments and the things that you're covering as a family at home. So as I said, we're your supervising teacher is happy to help you with these, but you are going to keep track of these at home, in whatever record keeping system you use for your family. So as I mentioned before, I talked a little bit about the honors program. We have 3 different areas: academics, subject specific, and service. I have linked our honors program handbook here, and it will also be in your information that you can take more look at that. I'd like you to look at that and then come to your supervising teacher with questions. Mrs. Steinbrett can also help you with that as well if you need more information. Just a few bullets on that is if you're interested in honors, you will declare by the time the fall semester of your 10th grade year, your sophomore year. In there is a timeline, and it also talks a little bit about a curriculum vitae, which kind of just, is a short synopsis of what happened during your high school years. So contact your supervising teacher for more information. A few other things in my last minute with you. Some other options you have in high school here at the Mid-Prairie Homeschool Assistance Program is Florida Virtual School. We have some virtual options if your student is interested in virtual classes. Another thing that you can be watching out in the newsletter for and to contact your supervising teacher about, for instance, what classes are offered. These are offered for middle school and high school age students. Other things to think about kind of as your future planning is this ICANN, Iowa College Access Network, has a lot of great resources that might be of interest to you. All of these are linked within my presentation that I've sent to you. Be thinking about junior and senior year. There's options to take college classes, so college credit in high school. That is dual credit that you can count for both college and high school credit, as well as internships and job shadows on the horizon when you're a junior and senior. Last thing, or a few things, you can click on some resources. Let us know what questions you have. Have a great night.